Welcome back to our channel. You've probably heard about Noah's Ark, right? It's one of the most famous stories in the Bible. But do you really know who Noah was and where he came from? There are some fascinating facts about Noah's life that most people aren't aware of. In this video, I'll be sharing Noah's complete biography, including details that are rarely mentioned. So please, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who's curious about Noah's life, the story of the Great Flood, and where Noah came from. Noah's name has different variations in different languages. In Aramaic, it's pronounced Nu. In Phoenician Hebrew, it's No, and in Arabic, it's En. The name itself means relief and comfort. Noah is considered one of the last patriarchs before the Great Flood according to Abrahamic beliefs. His story is told in the Book of Genesis in the Hebrew Aramaic Bible, from chapter 5 to chapter 9. It's also mentioned in the Quran and Behistun writings. Besides these, Noah is referenced in various other books of the Bible, including the New Testament, and in other biblical texts that aren't part of our official canon. Noah's story is significant in Christianity, Judaism, Mandaism, Yazidism, Islam, and the Baha'i faith. The flood narrative from the Book of Genesis is one of the most well-known stories in the Bible. In this account, Noah faithfully followed God's command to build the ark, which ultimately saved his family, all land animals, and humanity from the flood. God brought the flood because he was disappointed with the sinful state of the world. After the Great Flood, God made a promise to Noah that he would never again destroy all living creatures on earth with a massive flood. In addition to being known for surviving the flood, Noah is also depicted as someone who worked the land as a farmer. Following the flood, God commanded Noah and his sons to be fruitful, multiply, and populate the earth. In the Book of Genesis, Noah is recognized as the 10th and one of the last patriarchs before the flood. He is the son of Lamech, and according to the Book of Jubilees, his mother's name is mentioned as Binos. When Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who are considered the ancestral figures of humanity. The story of the flood is described in chapters 6 to 9 of the Book of Genesis in the Bible. The narrative explains that due to humanity's sins, God intended to bring the earth back to its original state of chaotic waters, similar to before creation, by flooding it. After the flood, God's plan was to reconstruct the earth with Noah, the ark, and the living beings inside it as the new inhabitants, the only righteous ones who would repopulate the world. Therefore, the flood was not just a regular flood, but a reversal of creation. The story tells us about the wickedness of humanity that caused the Creator to decide to destroy the world with a flood. To save certain animals, Noah and his family, Noah built an ark as a shelter. After the flood, God made a promise known as the Noahic covenant that he would never again send a flood to destroy all life on earth. Noah expressed his gratitude to God by offering burnt offerings, which were accepted by the Lord. God then established a covenant not only with Noah but with all humanity, promising to never devastate the earth with water again. He blessed Noah and his sons, instructing them to multiply and populate the earth. As a symbol of this gracious covenant with both humans and animals, God placed a rainbow in the clouds. This rainbow served as a sign of the covenant. Additionally, God gave 2 specific instructions to Noah. While it was permissible to eat food from animals, consuming blood was strictly forbidden. Furthermore, taking the life of another human became a crime punishable by death, ensuring the sanctity of human life. Noah, known as one of the last patriarchs before the flood, had an incredibly long life according to the Bible. He lived to the remarkable age of 950 years. Even after the flood, he continued to live for another 350 years. Some suggest that Noah might have known Abraham, as their timelines overlap. However, this is speculative, and there is no biblical confirmation of a meeting between them. However, there is an aspect of Noah's life that is often overlooked or intentionally concealed. The biblical account mentions a sin committed by Noah. In this video, we won't hide or ignore this sin, as it is an important part of Noah's biography that deserves discussion. After the flood, the Bible tells us that Noah became a farmer. He planted a vineyard and made wine from the grapes. Unfortunately, he ended up getting drunk, marking Noah's first recorded sin. Despite being highly regarded as a righteous man in God's eyes, Noah made this mistake shortly after the flood. But Noah's sin didn't stop at drunkenness. In fact, it occurred during and after the incident when he realized what he had done. Some individuals try to justify or excuse Noah's actions, claiming that he shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. Some even argue that Noah might have been unaware of the effects of consuming alcohol from wine. However, this displays a lack of understanding of biblical knowledge. Before the flood, there were already other farmers who cultivated various types of plants, including those that produced naturally fermented juices containing alcohol. Noah simply followed the knowledge and practices passed down from his ancestors. In the biblical story, Noah became intoxicated to the point where he ended up unclothed inside his own tent. His son Ham, who was the father of Canaan, saw his father in this state and went to inform his brothers about it. Noah, in his drunkenness, became angry upon hearing about Ham's actions and decided to curse Canaan, his grandson, in an attempt to prevent Ham from spreading what he had witnessed. Ham's immediate response of telling his brothers was considered inappropriate because he should have shown respect to his father by covering him with a garment or a cloak instead of exposing his situation. This act of respect was carried out by Noah's other two sons, Shem, the father of the Semitic people, Arabs, Syrians, and Jews, and Japheth, the father of Europeans, Indo-Europeans, and some Asians. The curse placed on Canaan by Noah had consequences for his descendants. This reflects an ancient belief that one way to affect someone was through their children. We can see a similar example when God took the life of Pharaoh's son as a means to confront Pharaoh and ultimately free the people of Israel. The curse on Canaan has been a subject of theological debate over many centuries, primarily because some mistakenly believe that Canaan was the ancestor of Africans, which is not stated in the Bible. In reality, it was Canaan's other brothers who did not receive any curse and became the ancestors of African peoples. According to the Book of Jubilees, Ham eventually realized his mistake regarding his father's condition. He went to his son Canaan, who was likely a child at that time, to acknowledge that what he had done was wrong. However, as Canaan grew older, he unjustly seized a portion of land that belonged to Shem, Noah's eldest son. This action was highly inappropriate, and Ham, considered the father of African peoples, was deeply saddened by Canaan's rebellion against his grandfather and the unjust taking of land from his uncle Shem. The ancient Book of Jubilees states that as a result, the territory including Canaan, modern-day Israel, parts of northern Syria, parts of Lebanon, and portions of Jordan came to be known as the land of Canaan, which was originally the land of Shem. The book further reveals that Ham, Cush, and Mizraim all spoke with Canaan, who responded negatively to his own father and refused to relinquish the land he had taken, despite knowing it was not rightfully his. This angered Ham, as well as his elder brother Cush and their other brother Mizraim. It's noteworthy that Cush was the ancestor of the ancient Cushites in Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, and other regions of Africa, while Mizraim was the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians. Additionally, it is fascinating to highlight that the story of Noah, the flood, and the ark is not only found in Judeo-Christian traditions, but also in other ancient beliefs spanning from Mesopotamia to Africa, and from the Americas to China and India. More than 200 cultures worldwide have their own versions of this story, indicating a shared common origin among these narratives. According to the Book of Jubilees, Noah's wife was named Imara. As for the language spoken by Noah during his time, he used the same language as Adam, referred to as the Adamic language or the language of Enoch, also known as the Enoan language. Although it is not explicitly mentioned in the biblical text, it is highly likely that Noah had additional sons and daughters soon after the flood. God instructed Noah and his wife, along with their 3 sons and their wives, to multiply and repopulate the earth. Noah, being considered the ancestor of all ethnicities according to tradition, is believed to have had a diverse ethnic background. This suggests that he likely had physical characteristics resembling various ethnic groups and carried the genetic lineage of Adam. In this sense, he shared similarities with Adam and is considered the forefather of all ethnicities and races in the world today. His sons Ham, Shem, and Japheth are traditionally regarded as the progenitors of the major ethnic lineages. Ham is associated with Africans, Shem with Arabs, Jews, Syrians and Assyrians, and Japheth with Indo-Europeans, including Europeans and Asians. In the Book of Enoch, Noah's physical appearance is described in a vivid and remarkable manner, particularly in the Book of Dreams, where Noah's father, Lamech, reacts to his son's birth. This description stands out for its extraordinary and unique attributes attributed to Noah. Noah is depicted as having a distinct appearance unlike anyone else. His skin is described as extremely white, almost radiant to the point of shining. His eyes are likened to sunbeams, illuminating the area around him. Additionally, Noah's hair is described as white as wool, complementing his fair skin and radiant eyes. The description of Noah's appearance in the Book of Enoch astonishes and worries Lamech, his father. Lamech wonders if his son is truly human or if he has a divine or angelic origin. He even questions his wife about Noah's paternity, fearing that Noah might be descended from fallen angels rather than being an ordinary human. One intriguing interpretation of this description suggests that Noah could have been the first albino human in history. Albinism is a genetic condition that causes a lack of pigmentation in the skin, hair, and eyes, which aligns with the description of Noah in the Book of Enoch. If we take this interpretation literally, Noah being albino would emphasize his uniqueness and could be seen as a special mark given by God, symbolizing his purity and his special connection to the divine. It's important to note that the description of Noah in the Book of Enoch is not widely accepted in the canonical traditions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. However, it presents a fascinating and symbolic perspective on Noah's character, highlighting his distinctiveness and significance within the context of apocryphal and pseudepigraphal texts. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe Noah was truly an albino man? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments. Thank you to everyone who has followed along. May God be with you all, and see you soon.